Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with Queenie. I know it's been a while, but I have something to make it up. Alright, so I did an updated version on my bourbon chicken. Much easier, takes less time to make than the first one, okay? So we're going to start off with 5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We're going to go in with 1 teaspoon of paprika powder, a half teaspoon of ginger powder, a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, okay, 1.5 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon garlic powder. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and add our black pepper. I'm doing a half teaspoon of coarsely ground black pepper. You can do any kind of black pepper you like. And then I'm gonna go in with 1.5 teaspoons of kosher / pink Himalayan sea salt and 1 tablespoon brown sugar and about 1.5 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon soy sauce. You can get sodium free or low sodium. And you're going to put 1 cap full of bourbon. Okay, any brand works. I like to get the Jim Beam brand. So we're going to also add some oil to this, and the oil is going to help make all the spices stick to the meat. And then last but not least, some cornstarch. I added in a half teaspoon. So we're going to go ahead and mix this all up very well. Make sure everything is covered correctly or mixed in correctly. And if you don't have these spices, you can definitely go and purchase them for a really good price, cheaper price. They always have this little dollar section in most supermarkets, so check it out. You might find most of what you need, okay? I added just a little bit more soy sauce. I just wanted some more. But remember, you can always modify this recipe to fit your taste. Alright, you guys, so once you have your chicken seasoned, you're going to go ahead, put your pan on the stove. I have my fire on medium-high heat, and I'm using avocado oil to sear my chicken on both sides. We want it to get a nice dark sear or crust, whichever, describes this procedure for you, on both sides, okay? It doesn't have to be fully cooked, but if it is, that's fine. You just want to put it in place in the pan. Make sure there is space between each piece of chicken, so this way steam doesn't build up. If steam builds up between the pieces of chicken, it won't brown properly. You won't get that nice sear or crust on, one side. It's just like steaks. You can't put steaks too close together or else you won't get that nice sear on the steak, okay? So once you've waited about 3 to 5 minutes, you can go ahead and flip it. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this splatter shield thing I bought today. Didn't really work. Okay. My stove still got messy from the splatter. It wasn't as much, but it still got messy, okay? So yeah, I was just trying it out. Like I really was trying to give this thing a chance, but it still didn't work. I don't know. But it does let the steam and air flow through, so you're able to fry and sear things without it, building up steam in there, which is nice. But oil and stuff like that still was able to go through the mesh and go on top of the stove. So about 5 minutes, you should sear each side, and it should be nice and brown. Okay, while that's cooking one side, I'm going to go ahead and cut up a medium onion, and I'm doing it in large chunks. You can dice it up really thin if you like, but I like large chunks for this dish. And guys, don't get stressed out about ingredients that I've used. You can always modify it. That's the fun thing about cooking. You make it your own and, do it however it, tastes best to you. This is just what tastes good to me and my family, okay? Over the years, I've been messing around with the bourbon chicken recipe, and I literally make this in about an hour, maybe less, depending on if the meat's already thawed out, okay? So once you have your chicken brown on both sides, put it on a cutting board. Go ahead and put more chicken in there to sear or brown on both sides. Put the chicken in the areas where you had the previous pieces. Just put it back there. The reason I'm saying is so that you don't leave those areas bare or they'll burn. Okay, so just put the chicken back in those same areas, and it's okay if crust builds up on the pan. We're going to use that later, okay? So yeah, once you have your chicken in there, make sure you have enough space in between each piece so steam doesn't build up too much. You know, remember, if the steam builds up and the chicken is too close together, you're not going to get that nice crust on the chicken that you're trying to get, okay? The same goes for fish if you're trying to pan fry some fish in a small amount of oil. So I'm going to flip them real quick, and then I'm going to move on to showing you what I do with the chicken next. Alright, so once your chicken is seared on both sides, this is how it should look. You're going to take a knife and a fork and cut your chicken up in chunks. You will see that it's not fully cooked. It doesn't have to be. It's going to cook again. This is like a two-step cooking process. So don't freak out and say the chicken is not cooked and this and that. Just watch the entire video and you'll see what happens next, okay? So we're going to cut this up in about 1-inch pieces, or you can do them bigger if you like, but I like to do 1-inch pieces. This way we can stretch the food, you know what I mean? I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but stretch it. So, you know, you get a smaller amount of protein, but it looks like a lot in your plate, okay? So once you cut that up, go ahead and put that in a bowl. The juices and stuff like that will collect in the bowl, and that will also be used later. Alright, once you're done with your chicken, the bowl that we use to season the chicken, we're going to use this bowl again. This is not a cross-contamination because I am not making a salad in here. The stuff that's in here is going to go in the pan, okay? So we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, 1 capful of bourbon, okay? And about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and about a teaspoon of maple syrup. That's what we're putting in there. You're going to stir it around with whatever seasoning is left from the chicken. Just give it a quick stir, and we're going to add in about a 1/2 cup of water. You can use tap water, you can use bottled water, whatever you like. I use bottled water. Your pan should still be on, but put it on low, you know, while you get that stuff together. But once you're done, make sure you put it back on like medium-high heat and put the mixture in the pan. You're pretty much going to deglaze the pan. Take off all that crust and stuff that build up underneath the chicken. You're going to deglaze it. This is going to be part of your sauce. I need you to taste the sauce while you are making it, okay? You want to cook out all the alcohol. Taste your sauce. If it's still bitter, that means there's alcohol still in there. Just my opinion. It might be different for someone else. But cook it until all the bitterness leaves. It should take about 5 to 10 minutes on medium-high heat, and you keep stirring it and make sure you taste it. If it needs more salt or you feel as though it needs more brown sugar or something, go ahead and add that. As you guys could see, I waited for mine to reduce. I cooked out all the alcohol, and then I put the chicken back in here. This chicken is not 100% fully cooked. So now it's doing the second, or I'm doing the second cooking process on the chicken to fully cook it so it's safe to eat. Alright, you guys, so you're going to spread the chicken and the onions, leave it on medium-high heat, okay, and you're going to just let it cook. Let any remaining alcohol that's in there cook out. You're going to notice that your sauce is thickening up. Also, you'll know you're on the right track when you stir your stuff around. There's nothing on the bottom of your pan. You should have noticed this while you were deglazing the pan. Deglazing pretty much means taking off the crust on the bottom of the pan. That's the best way I can describe this for you so you can understand, what I mean by that. So remember, while you're deglazing, taste your sauce. If it tastes bitter, let it cook just for a little bit more and keep tasting it. You want all the alcohol to cook out of it. I feed this to my kids and they're not drunk or anything like that. So make sure you cook out all the alcohol that is in the chicken. Once you put your partially cooked chicken in your sauce, you're going to let that cook some more uncovered, and it's going to cook out the rest of the alcohol that may be in there still. So make sure you taste your sauce again, okay? It should be getting sweeter. If you want to add some more salt to it, go right ahead. If you want to add a little bit of brown sugar to it, go right ahead. I suggest not to add more bourbon to it. It might just start the whole process all over for you, and you're going to have like super overcooked chicken, and it's going to be bitter, and it's going to take a minute for the alcohol to cook out again. Okay, so taste your sauce, see if it's bitter. If it's bitter, let it cook some more uncovered. You can even lower the heat. Don't leave it on too high, okay? And I don't leave my cooking area when I'm cooking, so I stay and I watch everything that's going on. So this is a type of dish where you're going to you're going to need to be there and watch it and stir it and move it around to make sure things aren't burning, because once the sauce starts to thicken up, it can get super thick and burn. So you don't want that to happen because it can cause your sauce to get bitter tasting, okay? So you'll know you're on the right track once you don't taste the bitterness of the alcohol in your sauce while it's deglazing. While your chicken is in there, just give it a taste again. Make sure it's not bitter. It may become just a tad bit bitter once you put the chicken in there, but it will cook out if there's remaining alcohol, okay? So just some pointers to help you. All right, so once your chicken is completely done, you've tasted it, it has that really nice, sweet, savory bourbon taste. You can go ahead and cut up some scallions or green onions and some parsley and sprinkle it over, and now you can cover it and leave it alone. All right, now we're going to move on to a very, very quick no fry, quotes, no fry fried rice. I have 3 cups of portobello rice in here. I have the water about 1.5 inches above the rice. You can do up to 2 inches. I'm seasoning the rice while it's in the pot with the water before it cooks. So I use a bit of kosher salt, some black pepper, some minced onions. These are the dehydrated type of onions. They're like dried. Some soy sauce, about 1.5 teaspoons, and also some browning liquid. You can get this in most food stores, okay? And I put about 1 teaspoon in there. Where I'm from, I'm used to my brown rice. I'm used to my fried rice being brown, so that's why I use this liquid to help get it to that color. So we're gonna mix this around. Don't forget to add a bit of oil in your rice. I'm using the avocado oil again in here, about 1.5 teaspoons, to make sure it has, some moisture. You don't want your rice to be dry. So mix it around, and you're going to cook this on high heat. You want it to come to a boil. You'll know it's ready for the next step once you're able to see the rice closer to the surface of the water. So it looked like the rice raised, and while it's bubbling, you should be able to see the rice like really, really close to the surface. You can even use your spoon to check and make sure it, came closer to the surface like I'm doing right here. You could see it, me moving it around. The rice is like really, really close. It's not even 1.5 inches deep anymore. So once you're to this stage, you're going to lower your heat all the way to the lowest setting, cover your pot, and leave it alone for about, who keeps texting me? I'm sorry about that, you guys. Leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes on low heat. Once 15 and 20 minutes is done, this is how your rice should look. Once it's like this, you're going to go in with any vegetable you like. I like to use frozen peas and carrots. I put it right on top. I spread it out. You can use a spoon or you can use your hand, whatever. I'm cooking for my family. I know somebody's going to say, oh my God, she used her hands. Majority of the world uses their hands for cooking, okay? We do use utensils, but if your hands are clean and they're washed and you're not doing anything else besides cooking, it is fine. So spread it out, cover it. Give it about, 3 to 5 minutes, let it steam, and your peas and carrots should look like this. Then you're going to go ahead, mix your rice, mix everything together. You see the rice has that nice sheen, like it looks like fried rice, like you fried it with oils and all that good stuff. Nope, you didn't do that because it's no fried rice in one pot without all the extra mess, okay? These are optional. You can cut up some sausage, put it in there, fry it first, then put it in there. You can fry some eggs prior to this, fry, put it on the side, cook your rice and everything, then add your eggs to the end. You can also cut up fresh onions, put it in here while the rice is boiling and cooking. So, you can have more stuff in there. But tonight I was trying to get dinner done quickly. The most important thing was the bourbon chicken. That's what I was trying to get done for you guys. That's what I was more focused on than the rice. But the rice is just something quick I do when I'm trying to get dinner done quickly so that the kids can eat and go to bed and get ready for school the next morning. All right, so I added in some parsley and some green onions, and you're going to just go ahead and mix that in. Cover it. Let it sit just for a minute, you know, just to kind of steam the green onions and the parsley. And then you're going to go ahead and plate. I always tell you guys I eat with my eyes, so it's very important the way my food looks when I put it on a plate. It needs to look appetizing to me. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. You know, here I was filming and the camera decided to stop. So, you know, put your rice down, put your bourbon chicken on top of it. I also did a little quick side salad, you know, just to make it a little bit more healthy because there's a lot of sugar and soy sauce and all of that good stuff in here. This is not a meal I would say is for someone who is trying to be low carb and all this extra stuff. If that's what you're trying to do, this is not it. But you can definitely modify this recipe to fit your lifestyle, okay? So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoy this updated bourbon chicken recipe. My husband loves it. The kids love it. I love it. I usually make enough for about 2 to 3 days. Don't judge. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. If you try it, make sure you tag me. Follow me on my cooking Instagram page and tag me in your creations if you create any of my dishes. Don't forget, when you deglaze, taste your sauce. If it's bitter, let it go for a little bit more, okay? All right. I love you guys. I'll see you all very soon in another video. Bye.